Alright, so open your notes to a blank page, actually to your table of contents. Today we are going to be talking about, okay, we lost one more minute. We're going to talk about rounding decimals. Rounding decimals, remember decimals are like money, so this definitely need in your life, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm out of room, so I'm actually going on to the back. And we are on to item number 21. What color am I on? Red. Okay. 21 rounding decimals. Dot, dot, dot. Check and see what page number you're on to. Parker, stop. I think we're on to 30. For me, I'm on 37. And turn to that page. Rounding decimals. Okay, waiting for everybody idled. Here we go. Okay, so when is $1 not worth $1? This is a good question to start with. Owen? Yeah. Actually, this is interesting. When it comes from a tree. So, on August 23rd, 1996, the Canadian dollar was worth only 0.7299 that of a U.S. dollar.
What?
Right. So, rounding decimals makes it easier for us to understand. When you hear that decimal 0.7299, probably doesn't mean a whole lot to you. But if we round it to the nearest hundred or the nearest tenth, it makes much better sense. So let's start with just a basic number line. So on your paper, draw a number line. It's going to go from 0.7 to 0.8. So 7/10 to 8/10. Let's do it something like this. Now, in between 7/10 and 8/10, how many hundredths are there? Mitchell. Okay, down. 100 hundredths in between. Think about 70 cents and 80 cents. How many pennies are in the middle? 10. So then we're going to divide our line into 10 equal parts. So I always start by putting 5 in the middle. So then I can try to get it as even as I can. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10 would be our 8/10. So, if I take that decimal I just told you which it is 0.7299, and I want to put it up here, I would have to round it to the nearest hundredth, wouldn't I? Do I have thousandths or 10,000ths on here? No! So I'm going to show you quickly how I did this, and then I'm going to break down the direction. So this number actually would round to 0.73, or 73 hundredths. And really, it's because I'm rounding to the hundredths place. I'm looking at that 9. It's bigger than 5, right? So I add 1, and I drop the rest. So where would I put 73 hundredths? Who can come up here and point on our smart board? Where would you put it? Jada, come on up. Okay, very good. So we already have 7 here, right? So I'm looking at the 3. 1, 2, 3. So 0 and 73 hundredths would be right here. Okay? Another way of looking at it, everybody likes money, and most people understand the basics of it, right? We know that there's 10 pennies and a dime and stuff like that. So I always try to put it into money. If I have 7 tenths, it's 70 cents. If I have 80 cents, so in between are all of those pennies. Okay? So if you can, think about it as money. So I know that $1 Canadian in 1996 equaled 73 cents in the United States. Okay? So I think, did I say that right? No, the Canadian dollar was 73 cents, and the U.S. dollar was worth $1. I think. Wait, the Canadian dollar was worth only 73 hundredths that of the U.S. dollar. It's worth less, so 73 cents. Yeah, that's all. So if you had, in 1996, if you had a Canadian dollar, okay, and you came to America and you went to buy a candy bar that was $1, you would only have 73 cents. It wasn't worth 100 pennies in American money. Okay? So you'd have to get some more change out.
All the money the same.
That is a great question for your parents.
I would want it in the pounds so I can understand how you're doing.
Josh?
So what would be a 25? What would be a 25 cent? What would be a Canadian quarter?
Back in 1996, what would it be worth? Well, I would say probably 3/4 less than 25 cents. So if you divided it into like 19 cents, 18. I don't know what it's worth today. That would be something really cool to look up tonight on the internet and tell us tomorrow. Great questions, guys. Look it up at home. All right, moving on. Back to rounding decimals. All right, so here's our steps. We have our reasons why now, right? Now it's time for our steps. Everything I put up here should be in your notes. So, for example, and our example is the one up here, okay? The first thing you have to do is you want to underline the place that you are rounding to. So write that down. Underline. In our example, we had this big decimal. And I said to round to the hundredths. Which digit is in the hundredths place? Jasmine.
The 2.
The 2. So the first step, anytime you have to round a decimal, I want to see with your pencil, I want to see that digit underlined. Because that tells me you understand the place value of it, right? Okay. That's step 1. Step 2. Look at the digit to its right. And I'm also going to add to this, draw an arrow. And the arrow shows me that you're looking at the digit to the right. It also shows yourself that you are looking at it, right? Alright, so here is our example. Step 1, I underlined the 2. The digit to my right is a 9. So I'm going to draw my arrow showing that I am looking at the 9. Step 3. If it is 5 or more, increase the digit to the left by 1. If it is less than 5, just use the digit to the left. I'll write all that down. It's not nearly as complicated as it sounds. So, if it is Actually, sometimes you just drop it. You don't have to add a 0. I guess if you're rounding to the hundredths, well, no, if you just dropped it, it would be still the hundredths. So, Josh?
They both say if the digit to the left by 1, and then the last one says use the digit to the left.
I'll show you. Okay, so here's our example, right? 0.7299. So, I'm going to, in step 1, I underlined the hundredths. Step 2, I looked at the digit on the right, which is a 9. So, step 3, I'm talking about the number the arrow is pointing at. If it is 5 or more, increase the digit to the left by 1. If it is less, you just use the digit to the left. You just drop. Okay? So that means because that 9 is more than 5, I add 1 to my 2. So it's 0.73. Really what you're thinking about with this decimal Is this decimal closer to 73 hundredths or 72 hundredths? 73 hundredths. That's really what we're thinking about. Okay? So that would be my answer. Okay? Alright, we're going to do some practice. I need to flip my paper over. If you need to, flip your paper. If you don't, keep going. Not this number. If I went to the thousands place and we have 9, then you'd have 0. If we were going to the thousands. Okay, so we're going to do some practice. We'll use this. Alright, so on your paper, go ahead and separate it out by saying practice. We want to keep everything nice and organized. So we'll start with some that we have to round to the hundredths. So let's see. Alright, let's take a look at 2.367. So the first thing you have to do is you have to copy the problem down, right? So look back at your steps. I share your papers, flip if you need to flip. Step 1, underline the place you are rounding to. I want you to round this to the hundredths. Which number will I underline? Parker. The 6. That's step 1. Was that hard? Step 2. Look at the digit to its right. Draw an arrow. Okay, look at the digit to its right. Draw an arrow. Did you do that? Okay. Step 3. If it is 5 or more, increase the digit to the left by 1. If it is less than 5, just use the digit to the left. Is 7 5 or more or less than 5? Raise your hand. Mitchell. Right, so I'm going to add 1. So this will round to 2.37. Good job. Okay, because I added 1. Okay, number 2, I want you to round to the hundredths. And it is, okay, we're going to do this one. Okay, take a minute, round that number to the hundredths, and then we'll go over it. You ready? It's just in Measure Magnet. The hundredths place. Give everybody a chance.
Magnet is still lost.
Magnet is lost?
Yes.
Okay, we know you're on yellow. Let's stop with the random noise. Okay. Alright, Ivan, tell me how to solve this.
You first underline 4, and then you draw an arrow pointing to the, and then you look at that and see if it's more or less than 5. And it's more than 5, so you're going to add 1 to the 4, which will make it 5. So it's 0.55.
Good. I'm rounding to the hundredths, so I'm not going to put a 0 here. Okay? Alright, let's look at something like that. Okay, so this one, yeah, okay, let's look at this decimal. 3.010. Round it to the hundredths. Round it to the hundredths. Jada, tell me how to do it.
Underline the 1,
Okay.
and then you look back to the 1 to the
Oh, no. Okay, thank you. That I can handle.
to the right, and if it's more than 5, you add 1. If it's less than 5, you leave it the same. Since it's less than 5, you rewrite it as 3.01.
Okay. There's one where it's less than. Okay, are we ready to get a little harder? Okay. So this one, where did it go? Oh, here it is. All right. Number 4. You're rounding to the place. Hundreds. Making you guys think. Alright, Keegan, before you start, I'm looking at this, and I know if I think about it in terms of money, I have about a little more than 99 cents. Okay, so tell me how to solve it.
You would underline the second line and draw an arrow to the east. And then 6 and the 8 is larger than 5, so you put that, or add 1 to the 9, and then the 9 will turn into a 10, so you add 1 to the 9, and then add 1 to the 1, or the 0.
So what's my answer?
1.
But because I'm rounding to the hundredths, I chose to hold my place. Because it's hundredths. Good job. I threw in the money thing because that's how I make sense of decimals. So thinking about it, is it closer to 99 cents or is it closer to $1? Well, you've got these 8,000s here that are pushing it to $1. Yeah.
I know also where they would use this.
Where?
At a gas station.
Oh my goodness, yeah, because it goes to the thousands, doesn't it?
And the yellow.
Yeah. Anybody, I don't know if you hear your parents talk about this, gas prices went down over break.
Yeah, they did.
I was like, so happy.
My
Okay.
mom is like, this is the happiest dance of her life right now.
Yeah, I just want to drive all over the place. Okay. Alright, now let's look at other places. Number 5, we're going to round this number to the 10th. This number, round it to the 10th place, your 10th place. Round it to your 10th. Two people ready? Raise your hand when you have an answer so I know you're ready. Owen, tell me how to solve this.
Underline 6.
Okay.
Do an arrow to the field. And then since 2 is less than 5, you can keep the 6, so it would be 3 decimal point 2.
Okay, so the 2 is less than 5. I just dropped it. Yeah. And it's to the 10th place, so I don't put a 0. Okay. Alright, one more, and then I'll give you your assignment. Wait. Oh, Jada?
That wouldn't be right. You would have to underline the 2.
That'd be the 100th place. So we rounded this to the 10th. I'm tricking you guys. Alright, number 6. This one, I want you to round to the ones. To the ones.
That's 100. I see.
Oh, Ivan's our rounding expert over there.
Good try, Michelle. Good try.
That's all I ask.
But there are.
All right, Ivan, what do you think?
Is it exactly $1?
Well, can you tell me how to solve it first?
You put your line to 0. And then you draw an arrow pointing to 7. If it's more than 5, which it is, you just add 1 to the underlined place, or 1 place.
Okay, because I said the ones place, I just would drop my decimal. It's just 1. Okay. All right. So today's activity. No, sorry. But it's an activity. All right. So this is C64 is your page number, and it's rounding decimals. I want to see underlining. And then at the bottom, oh, you're rounding how much these puppies weigh. Okay? When you are done, turn this into math. I am going to grade it. And there are some new math stars that you can do. Okay? Who are my paper passers? Madeline and somebody? Tucker and Madeline, come on up. Guys, I think, I don't know, I'll give you 15 sooner. All right, and this is on your own.